Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Soph. On this channel we talk about all things books, beauty and everything in between. Today's video is my October monthly wrap up. Here is my list of books that I was, well, kind of. This was my October TBR. So we have the Maidens, These Hollow Vows, what's that one? Ninth House, Crave, The Inheritance Games and This Lie Will Kill You. I have read 2 of these books. I'm currently on Inheritance Games, which I will finish before we get to November because it's a really easy book to read. It's super fast paced. And today is the 28th, so I've got 3 days to finish it, which I'm perfectly capable of. But as I filmed my TBR, I had literally just started A Court of Silver Flames, so I have finished this one as well. And because it was October and I couldn't wait for my special edition to come, I did also read Kingdom of the Curse by Kerry Maniscalco. So, like I said, I read Court of Silver Flames. I'm just going to get my Goodreads up so I can remember what I rated them all. Okay, so let's talk about A Court of Silver Flames first. So I did actually rate it 5 stars, which I'm surprised at because when I first started it, I honestly thought it wasn't going to be any higher than a 4. Nesta being really like bitchy and cold, really like I did not vibe with that at all, but I completely understand that she was going through a really bad like mental health thing. The representation of mental health in this book is like so good. The only thing that got me was that she wasn't the only one that went through trauma. Like everyone in the book has gone through some kind of trauma. You've got Feyre from Under the Mountain, Rhys from Under the Mountain, you've got Asriel from him being like locked in like a dark room or cellar or whatever it was. You've got Cassian not being treated like how he should and all of this stuff. So they've all been through trauma and then they all went through like Highburn together. But she's the one, it's like a woe is me, I've been through worse than you kind of thing, and that's what I wasn't gelling with. But when you think of it as a like mental health point of view, things do affect people differently, and the representation of mental health in Nesta is like so good. I also love the friendship she gets with Emery and Gwyn, like team of girl bosses, we love to see it. And yeah, and I also really love watching her and Cassian, like their relationship like flourish, and it was like a really slow paced thing, which it really wasn't with Feyre and Rhys. It was like so fast paced, so it was nice to have like a different thing going on. But the other thing that I didn't like, because Rhys is like my favourite bat boy, well, Rhys and Az, I guess, so the fact that she sees him as this like really annoying person, and like the whole inner circle really, she sees and describes them in this really annoying way that makes them look like not bad people but just like a really annoying group of people. And that really, I didn't like that at first because obviously you spend the first 3-4 books absolutely loving them. Then when you think about it, this is from her perspective. Feyre is going to see Rhys as this like amazing human because he's her mate. Seeing him from Nesta's point of view is like completely different because he's not her mate. He sees her, she sees him as this arrogant, cocky High Lord, and she sees the inner circle completely different to Feyre does because they're not her type of people. So it is really interesting, and that is why I gave it a 5-star, because when you think about it, it's such a good representation and another side to the story. So that was A Court of Silver Flames. And then what did I read next? My next read was The Maidens. So this one here by Alex Michaelides. I still don't know how you say his name. I really enjoyed this book. However, I only rated it a 4-star, and that is because the reveal at the end, I felt like it was quite rushed and there was opportunities for things to be like explained more. So I was not expecting the turn of events. Like, it was a shock. It genuinely like threw me. It was a really good thriller book. I haven't read a thriller book in so long, and this was such a good one for me to start back on with, because honestly it was so good. But yeah, the only reason I dropped it a star is because that ending, like the reveal and everything, there could have been like a lot more to it. It was very like blasé about it. I don't want to say too much because obviously I don't want to spoil it for people who might read it in the future, because it is a thriller, so you need to like not know these things, otherwise it just spoils the whole book. But it's basically about we follow our main character whose husband recently passed away, and her niece goes to the college that her and her husband met at. But there is a bunch of killings at this college, and our main character finds herself like deep in the investigation, trying to work out who the killer is, and it goes through like a bunch of different things. There's a professor who is like very idolized by the girls in his class, and he becomes like the main suspect, but that is all I'm saying about it. So yeah, it is a very good read. A lot of people either love it or hate it. I loved it. Like I say, the only reason I dropped it a start is because the reveal and everything was very blasé, and it could have definitely been explained a bit better, because there was so much potential for a deeper, darker meaning behind it. That's it. That was the only reason my star dropped. Then I read These Hollow Vows. If you like From Blood and Ash and ACOTAR and stuff, and you want something to kind of fill the gap that's in your soul after reading them, then I highly recommend These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. It's a very similar sort of story to ACOTAR. In this one, she also hates Faye. Our main character, what is she called? Bree. Our main character Bree hates Faye, but she finds herself in their world after her sister gets sold to one of the kings for them not paying their debt to their to their auntie. And it's kind of got a bit of a Cinderella vibes to it, to be fair. And then there are two Faye males that enter her life for two different reasons, and yeah, it's really good. I think I gave it a 4-star. Yeah, I only gave it 4-star because it didn't quite meet the ACOTAR like expectations. No, not expectations. What is the word I'm looking for? Quality. It didn't meet the ACOTAR quality, but it is a really good story. I found it really easy to read, and yeah, so, but it is a very good book to fill the gap in your soul whilst waiting for the next ACOTAR book or From Blood and Ash. So I highly recommend. And then last but not least, I read Kingdom of the Curse. This was not on my TBR, like I said at the beginning. However, I did rate it. Did I rate it 5-star or 4-star? I rated it 5-star because I loved Kingdom of the Wicked. Like, I've been waiting for so long for this bloody book to come out. I pre-ordered the Feraloo exclusive edition, which isn't being shipped until like November or December, and everyone was reading this and saying how good it was, so I had like massive FOMO, and I ended up buying the normal edition just so that I could read it. And like, I did a little bit of annotating, but in the end I was reading it so fast that I just didn't keep tabbing. But yeah, so Kingdom of the Wicked followed a witch named Amelia and a prince of hell named Wrath, who crossed paths for very similar agendas, and there is a little bit of romance in there. And this one is obviously the aftermath of what happens at the end of Kingdom of the Wicked, and this one explores the romance a bit more. There's a lot of like twists and turns, which I was not expecting at all, like literally at all. I had absolutely no like inkling that it was going to go in any of these directions. So yeah, I highly recommend the series. There is one more book to come out, which will be obviously next year, hopefully. So yeah, highly recommend it. And Wrath is just And yeah, so those are all the books that I read. Pretty good reads, to be fair. Like, I enjoyed all of them, and I am currently on Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I am only 60 pages in, but honestly it is such, I didn't expect it to be such an easy and fast-paced book to read, that I could probably finish this today if I wanted to. I'm not going to, because I do have Addie LaRue to read as well, because I'm buddy reading with someone from my work. But yeah, so this is really good at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. The chapters are really short, so it feels like you're making loads of progress. Like I said, super easy to read, super fast paced. I love it. I love it. So I will finish this by October, so this will be a 5th book that I've read. So not a bad month, I don't think, considering the last couple of months I've literally only read 1 book, if that. But yeah, so the ones I didn't get around to are Crave, Ninth House, and This Lie Will Kill You. Honestly, I'm actually quite sad about this because Crave I've been wanting to read for like so long, and Ninth House sounds so up my street. I did actually read a couple of pages from Crave just because I was like, I'm just gonna read like the first line of each book and see which one like draws me more, and it ended up being Inheritance Games. But when I was reading the Crave, I didn't stop at the first line. I ended up reading like the first 3 pages. So yeah, I may transfer them onto my November TBR, but I'm not sure because I do have a couple of chunky books that I want to read in November. So yeah, so I think I did quite well. Let me know what you managed to read in October, what you didn't manage to read but you wish you'd had, if there was any books that you like DNF'd or like just did not enjoy. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. Bye guys!